What is going on, LBHT crew? We are back with another installment of The Comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
I was feeling optimistic after the AFC loss. Disappointed, obviously, because that's a game that the Ravens should have won. But I felt like this offseason, it wasn't going to take a whole lot on the offense to really make that jump. And even though I've been a critic of EDC, some would say a major critic, I would just say, I don't know, reasonable. I felt that he would make those moves. But so far, EDC does it again, I guess. Right? We made the obvious move by signing Derrick Henry. That was obvious. If you look at some of our other videos, you'll see how we feel about that. Derrick Henry, we like the player. We think he still has a little bit left in the tank, but there are too many other options, younger options at running back in free agency that they probably should have went. Okay, we can argue about who you think is better and who's not. The fact is, we got another veteran who is past his prime. You can think he's still one of the top guys in the league, but history will tell us that won't last for much longer. So we gotta hope that Derrick Henry still has a lot left to contribute this year and hopefully next year before we start looking for another running back. And if he hits his decline earlier than that, then he won't offer that much. But I do feel confident that he will offer something for at least this season. So I'm not saying it's a bad pickup. I'm just saying there are some other young running backs out there that I would have rather had. Now, the other moves that they made, they continue to decimate their O-line.
They brought back Justin Madubuike, obviously, on the franchise tag, and then got him signed to a long-term deal, which is, not a move that we agreed with. We thought you let him walk and really go all in on the offense this year, but very good player, so whatever. Brought back Malik Harrison, good depth player for them. Doesn't cost a lot, so that's fine, whatever. But they let both starting guards walk, and Kevin Zeitler and John Simpson. Simpson has been signed by the New York Jets. Zeitler is still available, but then they turned around and traded their starting right tackle Morgan Moses to the Jets as well. So, they came into the offseason needing 2 starting offensive linemen, and then they added another on top of that. So now they need 3 starting offensive linemen. They need a number 1 or number 2 wide receiver because they released Odell Beckham. Rashad Bateman has not shown that he's ready to be that guy. Nelson Aguilar is a 3 or 4, ideally. So, the Derrick Henry move, it's fine. I mean, he's going to play well. He's going to be productive, but that's not what the Ravens offense really needed necessarily. They needed to build a pass blocking line in front of Lamar Jackson and get him better weapons to throw the ball to. And sure, going and getting a running back was a part of the offseason plan, but it seems to be the centerpiece of their plan up to this point.
Now, we're being fair. We're analyzing this in real time. The offseason is still going on. Free agency is still going on. There are moves still being made as we speak, literally. And they could be doing a lot more behind the scenes. They, when it's all said and done, they could make all the moves that we want them to make, that we think they should make, okay? But as of right now, while we're recording this video, here's where we stand with it. Here's our opinions with it, okay? So you can feel how you want to feel about Madubuike signing. We like Madubuike too, but again, we felt like we have other pressing needs. Our philosophy here is hashtag defund the defense. When you have glaring holes on the offense, signing somebody like Madubuike is a luxury. Your number 1 priority is to protect the quarterback. Number 2 priority is to get that quarterback weapon, all right? And Zay Flowers, I like him, and I feel like he's going to take that next step and become one of the top wide receivers in the league, but that is projecting. And as Ravens fans, we do way too much projecting around here, giving players credit that they haven't earned yet. Zay Flowers, I believe, is going to earn it. He hasn't earned it yet. I want to get guys that are proven, okay? Lamar is owed that. He is carrying the burden of getting this team to the Super Bowl more than anybody else. So get him what he needs to be successful. I like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry can definitely help, but you don't have a starting left guard, starting right guard, and you trade away Morgan Moses, you're starting right tackle. How are you going to address that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, Eric DeCosta is gonna have to order himself a 30-pack of Magic Mind and really lock in for the rest of this offseason, because he has a lot of work to do. If you don't know what Magic Mind is or what that means, it's a little productivity or / creativity shot. It's something you take daily, and as you use it every day, it becomes more effective for you. You can use it along with your morning coffee to kind of reduce your caffeine intake, make that last a little longer than it normally would. But it helps you block out distractions, stay focused, and get done what you need to get done. We say all the time we use it in our 9-to-5 jobs. We use it when we're editing and recording shows on YouTube or podcasts. And it just, it's a real quick, real simple, you just take it out of the fridge, give it a couple shakes, drink it, and you're gone, right? It takes a few seconds. There's no prep time involved with it. And it gives you a full day's worth of, being able to focus and just, like I said, get done what you need to get done. It tastes great. It's all natural ingredients. And, again, a 100% money back guarantee if you give it a try. And the way you do that is right there on the bottom of the screen. You go to www.magicmind.com/lunchbreak and use our code LBHT20, and that'll get you 20% off of your order, or up to 56% off of a subscription order. So you can give it a shot and see, take it for at least 3 days in a row. And I promise you're going to see the effect. It's going to be a positive effect for you. You're not going to want that refund, but it's there for you just in case.
Look, it's risk-free, great discount. There's literally nothing to lose here. No downside to doing it. So go ahead, follow that link, and get you signed up for some Magic Mind today. Now, yes, EDC, we are critical of EDC only because we're that close to a Super Bowl. And I just don't think Ravens fans should be settling for anything less. And what he's doing with Lamar Jackson on that offense, I said it on our live show, and I'll say it here again. It doesn't look like they care about Lamar. You look around the league and look at how other top quarterbacks are surrounded with the tools that they need to be successful. You can't say that they've given Lamar that. The best that he's done for Lamar on offense is Zay Flowers. He was a rookie last year, and Lamar's 6th year of playing. Not good enough.
Yeah, no. They've gotten a couple of pretty decent rookies. In terms of signing veterans, the best they've done is this Derrick Henry signing. And
he's 30 years old.
And that's not enough, right? No. They've never had somebody who you just look at and say, hey, you know what? We're bringing this guy in. We know he's a top player at his position. And we're talking about wide receiver, running back, tight end. I know that people are going to talk about Mark Andrews. I don't want to hear it at this point. But
that's going to be another video.
Yeah. In terms of moving forward, there are still obviously free agents available. The top guys are gone, but you got Tyron Smith out there, the tackle from Dallas, Trent Brown, the aforementioned Kevin Zeitler, Bradley Bozeman. You can see a reunion there. Mekhi Becton is a free agent. Dalton Reisner, who was an option for them last year, who they passed on in free agency, he is available again. In terms of wide receiver, Hollywood right now is probably the top wide receiver available. Wait, never mind. Expected to sign with the Chiefs. Marquise Brown. That just popped up on my phone right there. So no longer available. That's okay though. That's all right. Tyler Boyd is still out there.
We told you it was happening in real time.
Yeah. Mike Williams was released. He's got a lot of injury issues, but he is going to be the right age. He is turning 30 in season. So there are some O linemen available. I don't think that they're great O linemen, but they don't necessarily need that. And you obviously you want to get the best O line possible, right? But when you got a guy like Lamar Jackson, you've got Zay Flowers. You got Derrick Henry. Hopefully Keaton Mitchell comes back and is able to contribute this year. Isaiah likely played very well towards the end of the season. You won't need the best O-line out there, right? You just need guys who are going to make sure that Lamar's not running for his life every single play.
Correct.
And they'll be able to make plays. They'll be able to score a lot of points, and they'll be able to get over the hump. But a frustration with the Ravens as a whole is just that they don't ever seem willing to go all in to make it happen. They need to, particularly at wide receiver, just bite the bullet and pay what it costs to get a top guy in there.
Okay. Now, with that being said, I do want to address that there are rumors out there that the Ravens were talking to the 49ers. Okay. You had Jason Lockefour report on it. You had Chase Sr. from Chat Sports. he tweeted out something about that. Doesn't look like the deal's going to get done right away, but he floated out the possibility of it happening after June 1st, where the 49ers could save a whole lot of money and have very little dead cap if they do the trade after June 1st. So that's something that maybe they're looking to do down the road. And yeah, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But just the history of this franchise, their unwillingness to really do what it takes on offense. Yeah, because I understand it's a defensive mindset, and that they always say that defense and running the ball, that's their philosophy. But when you have somebody like Lamar Jackson, you have to change the way you think. And you've been doing him a disservice since he's been in the league by having this philosophy and building your team like that. Mm-hmm. He could be so much better. Yes, 2019 was magical. 2023 was magical, but we didn't cap it off with the Super Bowl. So were these some of the best teams ever assembled? No. The best teams ever assembled were the 2000 Ravens, the 2012 Ravens, the ones that finished off with the Super Bowl, because that's what you play the game for, to win the Super Bowl. These teams were right there, but the glaring holes on the offensive side is what kept us back, and we don't address it. Now, Derrick Henry, cool. That's cool. But if you stop there and say, we'll figure everything else out, especially on the O-line, we'll be talking about another disappointing year.
Yeah. And I really want to focus in on what you said there, how they just haven't been able to do it, and it's because of the offense, right? Because the offense has kind of failed in the playoffs. Because defense does not win championships. Not anymore. It's not that league anymore. Their last, several years in the playoffs, the Ravens defense has held Pat Mahomes to 17 points. They held Joe Burrow to 17 points. They held Josh Allen to 10 points. They have 0 Super Bowls. They're 0-3 in those games, right? It does not matter how good your defense plays. You have to be able to put points on the board. And yeah, they're able to do it in the regular season, but it's a different game come playoff time. And they need playmakers. Now, granted, they have Zay, and I think Zay is on his way to being a superstar receiver. He's not there yet, but I think he's on his way. Keaton Mitchell looked great in a couple of games, but you don't want to put too much on him. He's a guy who had, I think it was 84 carries or so, and he got injured twice. One of them a major injury. But you pair him with Derrick Henry, great backfield, assuming, Keaton's healthy. Now finish the job, essentially, right? Go and fix your O-line and go and get another starting wide receiver. Don't just say, hey, you know what? We're going to count on Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman's very talented, very, very talented. And he could turn things around and become productive and kind of break out. But there's no reason to rely on that, If that's going to happen, it's going to happen regardless. You can still go out and get another receiver, and then guess what? Now you've got 3 good receivers.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. So go out and get another starter. And if Rashad Bateman, turns things around, then you're even more unstoppable.
Agreed. We don't roll the dice like this on defense the way we do on offense. We have to change that, and it has to start right now. So we'll see what EDC does the rest of this offseason. I'm still going to fight for it. I'm still going to advocate for it. I don't have that much hope about it. I'm not saying they're going to put out a bad team. As long as you have Lamar on this team, they're not going to be bad. But EDC has had a lot of misfires, and I hope he changes my mind this offseason. I'm not rooting against him. I'm just looking at the data. I'm looking at the history, and just doesn't seem like he wants to change. But it's a new year, new offseason, and we'll see if they can do what it takes to get us over the hump and get to a Super Bowl. That is it for this installment of The Comeback. We're still rooting for them. Go Ravens. Do what you need to do to get Deebo Samuels. And
don't get Deebo Samuel. I like Deebo Samuel. Go get Justin Jefferson. If you're going to go get somebody, go get Justin Jefferson.
We can spend another 10 minutes talking about why and how they can get Justin Jefferson. Yeah. And yes, you know what? You're right, B. Scratch that. Get Justin Jefferson. I don't want to hear no for an answer. I don't want to hear any excuses. Excuses are easy. They're easy. That's not the Ravens way. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not the Ravens way. Go and get Justin Jefferson from Minnesota. Do what it takes to make that happen. And let's go out there and beat the Chiefs. Okay. That's going to be tough, too. They just got Hollywood Brown. Good Lord. Yeah. All right. That is it for this installment. We will see you in the next one. Peace.